Hey everyone, how are you doing? I hope everyone's doing really well. I'm coming to you this week with a topic on understanding other people. We come into contact with so many people, so many different people within our lives, that it's very important to understand others. When we have a good understanding of other people, it helps when we have to deal with different situations. So, kind of making sure that we know how to take a look at how a person is reacting maybe helps us to understand a little bit about how they're feeling. And that kind of helps us to know maybe things that we can say, things that we couldn't say, or shouldn't say, I guess, and maybe a way that we could help them. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So the first thing I have is a situation. I want you to imagine yourself in this situation. A friend asks you to go to a party, and you have learned that everybody you know, all your friends in your group, are invited, except for one person, and this person's name is Paula. How do you think Paula will feel when she finds out she was the only one not invited? Do you think she'll be angry, sad, hurt, feel excluded, feel confused, feel nervous, feel embarrassed, or feel a little indifferent, like not really sure how she really feels? Well, I want you to think about that. How do you think Paula will feel? So what you're probably doing right now is you're probably coming up with your own answer. You're trying to put yourself into Paula's shoes. What would you feel if everyone in your group was invited to a party and you found out you were the only one not invited? So you're trying to figure that out and imagining how you would feel if you were in her shoes. And most people in this situation are going to feel a lot of emotions. They might feel sad. They might also feel angry. At the same time, hurt. At the same time, they could even feel embarrassed because they were the only one not invited. So maybe we don't know exactly one thing that they're feeling, but they could be feeling all of those things. Embarrassed, confused, sad, hurt, excluded. There's no right or wrong way to feel. It's just how that person is feeling. And when we're able to kind of understand what the person is feeling, it helps us to be able to help that situation. So let's think about Paula. So now Paula, you're hanging out with Paula, and somebody starts to talk a little bit about this party. And they say, "Hey, are you going to Reagan's party?" Knowing that she was already not invited. So if we say that to Paula, it's kind of going to depend on how she would respond to that. So you might say or avoid saying, "Yes, I'm going, are you?" "Yeah, I'm going, but I feel kind of awkward telling you. Is it really true that you didn't get invited?" "Of course, everybody is going." "Well, yes, I'm going. It's going to be the best party of the whole year." "Yeah, I'm going, and I'm sorry you weren't invited. I don't think Reagan meant to hurt your feelings. I just heard that she was only able to ask a few people." Would any of those things be something that you would want said to you if you were in Paula's shoes? If you found out that you were the only one that was not being able to go to a party? Well, if you didn't know that Paula was not invited, you could say things like, "Yeah, I'm going, are you?" Because you didn't know. You didn't know what the whole story was. But if you do know and you ask, it's probably going to make her feel a little bit worse. Thinking about what our words are and what words we're going to use or what questions we're going to ask really helps if we understand what that other person is feeling and understanding the other people that we're with. So, how do we do that? If we want to know what the right thing to say is or the right way to ask that question, how do we do that? Well, one way to do that is to be able to read some body language. You need to read what other people are doing with their body. What I mean by that is sometimes people aren't going to say how they're feeling. Sometimes people aren't really understanding exactly how they feel, so they don't know how to verbalize that. If I'm feeling very upset and angry, the last thing I want to do is talk about it. So maybe some people are like that as well. So if you read their body language, if they're very closed off, they look upset, they have a frown on their face, something like that, you can tell that they're feeling upset. So let's say that Paula comes up to you and she looks upset. She asks you, "Are you going to Reagan's party on Saturday?" And you look at her face and her face looks angry. Her face looks sad. That can help you to understand how Paula is feeling. You can understand that Paula knows she wasn't invited and is feeling a little bit hurt. So in that situation, then, you could probably answer with something like, yeah, I'm going, and I'm really sorry that you are not. I don't think that Reagan meant to hurt your feelings. Instead of saying, of course, everybody's going, we think about what words we're going to use and how we're going to answer that situation or answer that question. Now let's say Paula comes up and approaches you and she looks really happy. She's smiling, she's kind of giggling and laughing, and she says, "Hey, I heard that Reagan's having a party. Are you going?" So now she looks happy. So maybe she is, one, not bothered by the fact she wasn't invited, or two, she doesn't know that she wasn't invited, and she's still expecting an invite. So now you could ask about anything. You don't have to feel as conflicted about asking her a question. You could ask her, "Well, yeah, I'm going. Are you going?" Or, "Yeah, everybody's going." Or, "I heard it's going to be a really good party." And then maybe you can find out a little bit more about what she knows. Did she know about the invitation? Did she know she wasn't getting one? Is she okay with it? It'll give you a little bit more information without being harsh with your words. So what are some other ways that we can really think about how we can understand another person? Well, one way is really reading that body language, watching them, and really listening. You can look at somebody's expressions, you can look at their body language, and you can listen to the words that they say and how they ask a question, their tone of voice, their loudness, if they're quiet. Those different things can help us understand what that person is feeling, how they're feeling, or just give you an idea if they're angry, happy, sad, any kind of emotion that they're feeling. So here's another example. You have a friend, and his name is, they don't give him a name. Let's say you have a friend named Joe. And you saw Joe in the morning about 8 o'clock. He was smiling, he was friendly, full of energy, joking around with you. Later on in the afternoon, you run into Joe again. Now he looks upset. He almost looks like he's ready to cry. So what do you think could be your best guess as to what maybe happened from when you saw him earlier this morning to when you see him now? Here's some choices. Maybe he had a fight with his girlfriend and now they're not talking. Maybe he had a big assessment at work or a job or a task that he had to pass and he didn't pass. Maybe he had to make a final cut at work and he didn't make it. What if he had a big assessment at work and he did pass? Or maybe he was at work and everybody gave him extra work to do. Or maybe he's just having a bad day. So if you think about those things and thinking about the way he looks, his facial expressions, his body language, maybe how he's talking now, he's not joking around, he's not laughing, and he looks like he's going to cry. He's very quiet. Well, you know he probably didn't pass at work. It's got to probably be something bad that happened. He could be just having a bad day, but something made him have a bad day. So it could be he got in a fight with his girlfriend. It could be he has a little bit extra pressure at work. So now you can think about the things that you can say in that situation. He's probably feeling a little bit stressed out. He's probably feeling a little hurt, maybe a little mad, a little uptight. So now you can think about different things that you can say and how you can react and how you can maybe help him through that situation, being Joe's friend. So we have to really think about things that we can do. Really take the time to watch other people. Watch their body language. Watch how how their facial expressions are, their body. How do they hold themselves? Are they all frowny? Are they smiling? Listen to them. When they have a conversation, are they talking? Are they joking? Are they really involved in the conversation? Or are they really quiet and hold back? Don't really want to say much. Maybe look like they're going to cry. You need to take that time to figure out some of the statements that they're saying. Once we know that, we can really have some compassion for other people to help them out in whatever situation they're in. We can ask another person, what do they need? If you know your friend is going through something, help them. If you know a coworker is going through something, you can ask them what they need or what you could do for them to help them out. Always be sincere in your actions. Not yelling at somebody or telling them they shouldn't do it that way or why did you react that way. It's their feelings and their emotions. You're there to be curious, to help them, to understand them, and to help them get through that by being sincere and honest and compassionate. And always, always act with kindness. If we see somebody like Joe, where he was happy when we saw him first and upset later, we don't always know what they're going through. You don't know what another person has experienced or what another person has gone through that day or that week or that month. Maybe things have been a little rough. So always, always, always act with kindness. When you hear gossip, teasing, ridicule, make it your first reaction to really imagine what it would feel like to be on that other end. If somebody is making jokes and trying to act funny, and maybe it's not funny to that person. So really make it your reaction to understand how it would be to be in that other person's shoes. That can help you to tune into another person's feelings. So, really try to understand other people. A small act of compassion can build a very positive social connection with somebody else. Just by saying hi to somebody who's sitting alone, somebody who hasn't been talking much, just to see how they're doing. Ask them, hi, how was your day today? Give them a smile. It makes somebody feel good. Your simple smile and your act of kindness can really change another person's perspective on their day, change their attitude. It can make a very strong influence on another person's health, happiness, and how they go throughout their day. So I challenge you to really work hard. Try to understand other people. Listen to what they're saying. Pay attention to their facial expressions and always watch the body language. We come in contact with so many different people, and we are all different in so many different ways. So helping to understand each other and acting in kindness can make a big difference. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will talk to you guys all soon. Bye.